right, and for nincompoops cosplaying as government officials updates, so I don't know if you saw, but apparently the Attorney General of DC has declared himself the personal attorney of the stench, which basically means the stench is proclaiming himself to be the personification of DC. This is how the kingdom ship starts. He says, I am DC, and then it starts spreading. So anyway, and we're going to focus on what's really important by going after the Associated Press, because they're not calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of not Mexico. It's the Gulf of Mexico. We're not changing that. So because they're not going with his illegitimate order, they're an enemy of the state. This is what these people consider enemy. Okay, their enemies are just people who disagree with them and don't follow their orders. The team of small government and freedom are ready to go after the Associated Press with the Attorney General of DC because they won't call the Gulf of Mexico something else. Okay, so that's where we are. That's what our tax dollars are paying for. A bunch of tiny egoed men like just looking for any kind of revenge and control they possibly can get at our expense. At our expense. Like, you gotta be kidding me. You got that email shit? I got to catch up on that. Do you guys know what happened with that? I don't know what happened with that. Last I checked last night, like they went back and forth yesterday on if it was valid or not. You had multiple departments telling their people, don't even bother. You had the House That's White and First Boyfriend rolling back and saying, never mind, it was just a test. We just wanted to see who could respond to an email on a Saturday. Like, come on. The incompetence and ineptitude is just so, like, it's so bad. It's embarrassing at this point. And then he didn't like that it was embarrassing that he had to backpedal. So he did what First Boyfriend always does, was go back and double down on the wrong thing again and say, actually, no, it's back on. If you don't respond by tonight, you're automatically going to be fired. So let's see how that works today. He's basically trying to assert power over all of the department heads that said you don't have to answer to him. So we're going to see how that goes. Because, they can't even decide who needs to be the final answer on that. It's just such a hot mess. It is such a hot mess. And I mean, it's not funny because these people can absolutely do some damage if people don't realize that, protocol's not going to work. And, file a thing with the bar, file a court case, file an appeal, bring charges, let's sue them. Like, okay, we can do all that like later and some other time. We don't have time for all that shit to happen. What we have to do is South Korea. We have to go French style, French. And like I said, let's reach out to some of those Sixers that are free now and see if they still have those things that they brought to DC with them last time, because they're approved according to the party in control. If we show up with the same items that they showed up with, it's considered a tourist event, and we're all very fine people. So I think that they should dust off the things that they brought with them last time that they set up to handle the people, and we can all show up this time. Okay? So that we can end this little cosplay game where they're just playing pretend on our dime with our money and at our expense. And I know the budget thing is supposed to be happening today. I hope it all goes through. I don't want it. Don't get me wrong. But initially I was saying I hope that it doesn't go through and everything shuts down. But I don't want that. I don't want that, because then Team Blue gets the blame for the shutdown. And then all the work we've done so far gets thrown away because now if they don't get benefits, it's because Team Blue. So no. No, I want them to approve their horrible, horrible budget. Do it. Start cutting shit off. And we'll get the last people who are sitting on their laurels to finally join the fray. So let's see what happens.